All right, deep divers, are you ready to get up close and personal? Today we're taking a deep dive into something you might not expect, something you might even call, well, a little bit weird.
Yeah, not exactly a glamorous topic, is it?
Definitely not our usual subject matter. But hey, we go where the curiosity leads us, and today it's leading us straight to those little skin quirks, those tiny growths that seem to pop up out of nowhere. Skin tags.
You know, it's funny how something so small can cause so much fascination.
Oh, I know what you mean. It's like discovering a new freckle, and suddenly you're down a rabbit hole of medical websites trying to figure out what it means. But today we're zeroing in on those pesky skin tags,
Yeah.
especially the ones that like to hang out around the eyes.
Right, and we've got a mountain of research and medical papers here ready to help us unravel the mysteries behind these tiny growths. So to start us off, for anyone who hasn't yet had the pleasure of meeting a skin tag in person.
Or should we say on person?
Right, exactly. On person. Our sources describe them as these teeny soft bumps on the skin, often hanging off by a little stalk. Like, picture a miniature balloon on a string just decided to take up residence on your skin.
A surprisingly accurate description. And before we dive into all the nitty-gritty details, I think it's important to assure our listeners that in most cases, these are totally harmless. Unless, of course, they decide to set up camp right next to your eye.
Yeah, skin tag on your arm, no big deal, live your life. But near your eye, that's when things go from minor annoyance to like a daily obstacle course.
It's like having an invisible eyelash that just constantly tickles your eyeball.
And that's where the real trouble can start. The skin around our eyes, incredibly thin and sensitive. Any constant rubbing, even from something as small as a skin tag, can lead to a lot more irritation. And when you think about how often we're touching our eyes, putting on makeup, even just blinking, well, it's asking for trouble.
Seriously makes you realize how much we take our eyelids for granted. And speaking of trouble, our sources list a whole bunch of potential complications.
Mm.
Discomfort, vision problems, even pain. Suddenly that morning coffee doesn't sound quite as appealing.
Exactly. Not every under-eye skin tag needs a dramatic exit strategy, but knowing those warning signs, that's key.
Okay, so we know those under-eye skin tags, they can be a real pain, but what causes these things to show up in the first place is like they just appear out of thin air.
It really is a bit of a medical mystery, isn't it?
Right, like do they have a secret underground network we don't know about?
Maybe. But if we're looking for culprits, our sources point to a few usual suspects.
Hit me with it. Who are the prime suspects in the case of the mysterious skin tags?
Well, first up, we've got the dynamic duo, age and collagen. You see, as we get older, our skin naturally starts to lose some of its elasticity, that snap-back quality we take for granted in our younger years.
Oh, tell me about it. I remember those days. Now, let's just say it's a more gradual return.
Exactly. And at the heart of that change is collagen. That's the protein that acts like scaffolding for our skin, keeps it firm and resilient. Less collagen equals more wrinkles, a bit of sagging, and yep, you guessed it, a higher chance of those little skin tags popping up, especially in areas where the skin folds or rubs together.
So it's like those tiny creases become prime real estate for skin tags to set up shop.
Precisely. But it's not just about time and collagen. We've also got hormones. Those master communicators in our bodies, they love to stir things up a bit.
Oh yeah, hormones can definitely throw a wrench in the works.
Tell me about it. Think about those major hormonal shifts during pregnancy, for example.
Pregnancy, the the unexpected phase of life.
Exactly. And while those increased estrogen and progesterone levels are essential for a healthy pregnancy, they can also lead to a few surprises on the skin. And unfortunately, skin tags are one of them.
The body is a wild and unpredictable place. But hey, at least those hormone-related skin tags often disappear after childbirth.
Yeah.
Right, like they were just there for the baby shower and then they're out.
Exactly. But wait, there's more. We've also got growth factors, those microscopic messengers that tell our cells to grow and divide. They're another piece of the puzzle.
Okay, growth factors. Now we're getting into the more complex characters in this story. What's their deal?
Imagine your skin is like a construction site. Growth factors are like the foreman directing the worker cells to build more tissue. Sometimes they get a little overzealous, and what happens? You get a skin tag.
It's like those growth factors are saying, let's build a tiny skin tower, just for fun.
You got it. The research on this is still ongoing, but it definitely adds another layer to the mystery. And speaking of mystery, let's talk about our final suspect, HPV.
HPV, as in the human papillomavirus, the one that's linked to warts. Are you saying all skin tags are caused by HPV?
That's a common misconception, and it's important to clarify. Not all skin tags are related to HPV. However, studies have found traces of certain HPV types in some skin tag biopsies, which suggests a possible link in some cases, but we need more research to fully understand the connection.
Okay, so HPV is like that mysterious figure lurking in the shadows. Not necessarily the main culprit, but definitely someone we need to keep an eye on. Are there any other accomplices in this skin tag caper?
You know, it wouldn't be a good mystery without a few plot twists. Family history can play a role. And certain health conditions like diabetes or obesity have also been linked to an increased risk of developing skin tags.
Wow, so many factors at play. It really highlights how interconnected our bodies are, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Now that we have a better grasp on the who behind skin tag formation, are you ready to explore the how of getting rid of them?
All right, detective. We've met the usual suspects. We know how they operate, but how do we get rid of them? What's the best way to show these skin tags the door?
Well, luckily for us, our sources lay out a few different approaches.
Lay it on me.
So we can break those options down into two main categories.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, you've got your at-home remedies, and then there's the more professional medical removal options.
Okay. At-home remedies. You know how I feel about those.
A healthy dose of skepticism.
Exactly. It's like, is dabbing apple cider vinegar on my skin really the answer?
I hear you. And to be honest, when it comes to those DIY remedies, especially around the delicate skin near your eyes, caution is key.
Yeah, those home remedies, they might not always be backed by solid science, could even do more harm than good, right?
Right.
Okay, but for the sake of our investigation, let's say I'm feeling adventurous. What are some of those at-home tactics people try?
Well, you already mentioned apple cider vinegar. That one pops up everywhere. People believe the acidity can dry out the skin tag, make it fall off. Then there's tea tree oil, often praised for its supposed antimicrobial properties.
Right, tea tree oil, the go-to for like every skin woe.
Yeah.
But is it really all it's cracked up to be?
That's the million-dollar question. And the answer isn't always clear. But you know, sometimes those old wives' tales, they have a grain of truth to them.
Okay, so apple cider vinegar, tea tree oil. Anything else?
Ever heard of the banana peel method?
Wait, you're messing with me, right? Banana peels, like from the grocery store.
Yep. Apparently, some people believe that the enzymes in banana peels can help dry out those pesky skin tags.
Okay, I have to draw the line somewhere. I'm not putting banana peels on my face. That's where I tap out. Let's talk about those medical removal options, the ones that really, have some science behind them.
All right, sounds good. So if those at-home remedies aren't cutting it, there are a few different procedures that dermatologists can use to remove skin tags pretty easily.
Okay, so walk me through it. What are the options?
So one common method is cryotherapy. Have you heard of that one?
Cryotherapy. It rings a bell.
Basically, they use liquid nitrogen to freeze the skin tag off. Sounds kind of intense, but it's actually very quick and relatively painless.
Liquid nitrogen, huh? That does sound a bit intense. Okay, what else?
Another option is called ligation.
Ligation. Okay, that one's new to me.
So with ligation, they use a special thread to cut off the blood supply to the skin tag.
So you're basically cutting off all its resources so it can't survive.
Exactly. It shrivels up and eventually falls off on its own. And then there's electrocautery, which, as you might guess, uses heat to remove the skin tag.
Electrocautery. Okay, so you're basically saying get out and stay out, but with heat. Interesting. But let's talk recovery. What happens after these procedures? Am I going to be walking around with a bandage on my face for a week?
Not at all. These procedures are generally really well tolerated. You might experience some mild redness or swelling afterwards, maybe a little itching as the area heals. But any discomfort is usually temporary.
That's good to know. I'm all for getting rid of skin tags, but not if it means I can't leave the house for a week. So once the skin tags are gone, they're gone for good, right?
Exactly. They're not known to make a comeback.
Music to my ears. Okay, final question before we wrap up this deep dive. Is there any way to prevent these things from showing up in the first place?
I wish I had a magic solution for you, but unfortunately, prevention is a bit tricky.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to factors we can't control, like genetics and aging.
Well, that's a bummer.
It is what it is. But that doesn't mean we're powerless. Remember how we talked about collagen being so important for skin health? Well, anything you can do to support your skin's natural collagen production, that's a step in the right direction.
So basically, keeping our skin healthy and happy makes it less hospitable to those unwelcome skin tag guests.
Exactly.
Love it. Well, this has been eye-opening. No pun intended.
Glad to hear it.
To all our deep divers out there, thank you for joining us on this up-close and personal journey into the world of skin tags. We've gone from those harmless bumps on our arms to the more troublesome ones that pop up around the eyes. We've explored the causes, the potential risks, and even the ways to say bye-bye for good. And And remember, if you're ever unsure about a skin concern, whether it's a tiny skin tag or something else, don't hesitate to reach out to a healthcare professional. They can give you personalized advice and peace of mind. Until next time, stay curious.